Have you ever wondered what really happens when you hit the milestone of 70? It's a time of life filled with surprises, challenges, and moments that can catch you off guard, whether you're ready or not. In this video, we're diving deep into the 7 undeniable things that happen once you turn 70. From physical shifts to emotional transformations that shape this incredible chapter. Whether you're approaching 70, already there, or supporting a loved one through this journey, you need to watch until the end because we're sharing heartfelt insights and practical tips to help you embrace these changes with confidence, grace, and a renewed sense of purpose. Don't miss out on unlocking the secrets to thriving in this stage of life. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now, let's get started. Sign number 1, your balance isn't what it used to be. It begins subtly, almost imperceptibly. You bend down to tie your shoelaces and feel a faint wobble, a fleeting moment where the world seems to tilt. Or perhaps you stand up from a chair too quickly, and a wave of dizziness forces you to clutch the nearest surface for support. At first, you might dismiss these moments as anomalies. Maybe you're just tired, dehydrated, or distracted. But as weeks turn into months, these small lapses become harder to ignore. You hesitate at the top of a staircase, your hand instinctively reaching for the railing. You find yourself walking more cautiously, second-guessing steps that once felt automatic. That's when it dawns on you, your balance isn't what it used to be. This shift isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a signal that your body is undergoing profound changes. Balance is a complex interplay of multiple systems. Your inner ear, muscles, joints, eyes, and brain all work in harmony to keep you steady. As we age, particularly after 70, these systems begin to falter. Let's break it down. First, the vestibular system in your inner ear, often described as your body's internal gyroscope, loses its precision. Tiny hair cells in the inner ear, which detect motion and orientation, degrade over time, making it harder to sense where your body is in space. Second, muscle strength and coordination decline. The muscles in your legs, core, and even your feet, your body's foundation, lose mass and responsiveness due to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle tissue. This makes it harder to stabilize yourself during sudden movements. Third, your brain's processing speed slows, delaying the rapid-fire signals needed to correct a stumble before it becomes a fall. Add to this the potential for reduced vision, joint stiffness, or medications that affect equilibrium, and the risk compounds. Consider Tom, a 72-year-old retiree who prided himself on his active lifestyle, weekly hikes, gardening, and chasing his grandkids around the park. One morning, as he stepped out of the shower, he reached for the towel rack and felt his legs buckle beneath him. There was no slip, no wet floor, just a sudden, unnerving failure of his body to catch him. He didn't fall, but the moment shook him deeply. It wasn't just about the near miss. It was the realization that something fundamental was shifting. For Tom, and for many others, this is a wake-up call. The stakes are high. Falls are the leading cause of injury among adults over 70, with over 3 million emergency room visits annually in the US alone. According to the CDC, a single fall can result in a fractured hip, a traumatic brain injury, or a cascade of complications that erode independence. Beyond the physical toll, the fear of falling can lead to self-imposed limitations, avoiding stairs, skipping walks, or withdrawing from social activities. This isn't just about physical health. It's about dignity, confidence, and freedom. But here's the empowering truth: balance is a skill you can strengthen at any age. Research shows that targeted exercises can significantly improve stability and reduce fall risk, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. Start small with exercises like single-leg stands. Hold on to a counter for safety and lift one foot off the ground, aiming to balance for 10 to 20 seconds. If that feels challenging, that's your body telling you it's time to act. Progress to heel-to-toe walking, where you place one foot directly in front of the other, as if walking a tightrope to enhance coordination. Leg raises, chair squats, or Tai Chi, a gentle martial art proven to reduce falls by up to 50% in older adults, can rebuild strength and confidence. Even simple habits, like standing up slowly to avoid blood pressure drops or ensuring your home is free of tripping hazards, loose rugs, dim lighting, can make a difference. Balance isn't just about preventing falls. It's about preserving your ability to move through the world with ease. Your legs are more than tools for walking. They're the foundation of your independence, the key to exploring new places, hugging loved ones, and living life on your terms. After 70, nurturing your balance is an act of defiance against time, a commitment to your future self. So take that first step today. Your body will thank you. Sign number 2, your skin becomes a messenger of time. Your skin, the largest organ of your body, serves as a silent chronicler of your journey through life. It bears the imprints of sun-drenched summers, the creases of heartfelt smiles, and the faint scars of minor mishaps. However, as you enter your 70s and beyond, this narrative evolves into something more pronounced and poignant. You might observe that a gentle brush against a doorframe leaves a vivid bruise that fades slowly over weeks. Your skin feels increasingly thin, almost translucent in places, with a persistent dryness that no amount of lotion seems to fully quench. Sensitivity heightens. Fabrics that once felt soft now irritate, and temperature swings provoke discomfort, from prickly heat rashes in summer to cracking cold in winter. Small wounds, like paper cuts or insect bites, linger longer, sometimes scabbing or scarring in ways they never did before. These alterations aren't superficial vanity concerns. They're windows into the intricate biology of aging. At the cellular level, skin aging is driven by both intrinsic genetic and extrinsic environmental factors. Intrinsically, collagen and elastin production plummets. Collagen, the scaffolding protein, decreases by 1 to 2% annually after 40, leading to sagging and wrinkles, while elastin fibers fragment, reducing snapback elasticity. The epidermis thins by up to 20 to 50%, and the dermal-epidermal junction flattens, making skin more shear-prone. The subcutaneous fat layer atrophies, diminishing padding and exposing blood vessels, which become fragile due to reduced endothelial function. Extrinsically, cumulative UV exposure accelerates this via photoaging, generating free radicals that damage DNA and proteins. Hormonal shifts, like declining estrogen in women, further exacerbate dryness and thinning. Research from the Journal of Investigative Dermatology highlights that by age 70, skin regeneration slows by 50%, with wound healing taking 2 to 3 times longer due to impaired immune response and reduced growth factors. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Moreover, conditions like diabetes, affecting circulation, smoking, constricting vessels, or malnutrition, lacking vitamins, can amplify these changes, leading to complications such as venous ulcers or pressure sores. In medical terminology, this is often termed senile purpura for easy bruising or xerosis for dryness. But it's all part of dermal atrophy. Consider Margaret, a 75-year-old avid gardener from rural England. Her hands, once toughened by soil and sun, now bruised at the slightest thorn prick and a minor scrape from pruning shears took over a month to heal, leaving a faint scar. This not only frustrated her but stirred fears of infection, causing her to garden less frequently. For Margaret, it was a reminder that her skin, a lifelong protector, now needed protection in return. The broader impact is significant. Weakened skin heightens vulnerability to infections, e.g., cellulitis, dehydration, and even systemic issues like hypothermia. The World Health Organization notes that skin disorders affect 1 in 3 older adults, contributing to hospitalization and reduced quality of life. Psychologically, visible changes can erode self-esteem, leading to social withdrawal. Fortunately, proactive care can mitigate much of this. Adopt a multifaceted routine. Daily moisturization. Use creams with hyaluronic acid, ceramides, or urea, e.g., CeraVe or Eucerin, applied twice daily, especially post-bath, to restore the barrier and retain moisture. Gentle cleansing. Opt for lukewarm water and mild, soap-free cleansers to avoid stripping oils. Pat dry instead of rubbing. Hydration and nutrition. Drink 8 to 10 glasses of water daily. Incorporate skin-boosting foods like citrus fruits, vitamin C for collagen, avocados, healthy fats, and berries, antioxidants. Supplements like collagen peptides or vitamin E may help, per a 2019 study in Nutrients. Protection strategies. Wear long sleeves, broad-spectrum SPF 30+ sunscreen year-round, and soft cotton clothing to minimize friction. Avoid smoking and limit alcohol. Medical vigilance. Inspect skin regularly for changes. Consult a dermatologist for persistent issues, as early intervention can prevent ulcers or cancers. Sign number 3, your sleep patterns change, and not for the better. Sleep, that nightly sanctuary where the world fades and restoration begins, often transforms into a battleground after 70. The shift is gradual. You might first notice waking at dawn's first light, hours before your alarm. Then come the midnight awakenings, once sporadic, now routine, for a bathroom trip or a fleeting thought. Soon, falling back asleep feels like chasing shadows, leaving you tossing amid tangled sheets. Daytime drags with unexplained fatigue, even after what seems like adequate hours in bed. Many rationalize it as just aging, but this evolution in sleep patterns unveils deeper physiological truths demanding attention for your well-being. The mechanics of age-related sleep disruption are rooted in biology. Hormonal changes lead the charge. Melatonin production drops by 50 to 75% after 60, per the National Institute on Aging, weakening the circadian rhythm and making it harder to initiate or maintain sleep. Sleep architecture alters. Time in deep non-REM sleep stages 3 to 4 decreases by up to 80%, reducing physical repair, while REM sleep shortens, impairing memory consolidation. Brain structures like the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the body's clock, atrophy, and neurotransmitter imbalances, e.g., lower GABA for relaxation, exacerbate fragmentation. Physical factors intensify the issue. Nocturia, nighttime urination, affects 70 to 80% of older adults due to reduced bladder capacity, prostate enlargement in men, or diuretic medications. Chronic pain from arthritis, prevalent in 50% over 65, or conditions like fibromyalgia disrupts continuity. Respiratory issues such as obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, which are undiagnosed in up to 90% of cases, cause repeated awakenings. Psychological elements, including anxiety over health or loss or depression, affecting 15 to 20% of seniors, create a vicious cycle of rumination. Harold, a 78-year-old retired engineer from Chicago, embodies this struggle. In his prime, he slept like clockwork. Now 3 a.m. awakenings are his norm. He lies awake, mind wandering to old memories or tomorrow's tasks until exhaustion pulls him back. Without pain or overt stress, it's simply his body's new rhythm. For Harold, poor sleep morphed into daytime naps, irritability, and a near fall from fatigue, highlighting the hidden dangers. Indeed, the risks are alarming. A 2022 study in JAMA Neurology linked poor sleep to a 49% higher dementia risk, as the glymphatic system fails to clear neurotoxins like amyloid plaques during fragmented rest. Cardiovascular threats rise. Insomnia correlates with a 45% increased hypertension and heart attack odds. Immune function weakens, heightening infection susceptibility, while mood disorders like depression double in prevalence. Daytime somnolence contributes to accidents, with the CDC estimating 1 in 25 older drivers nodding off monthly. Reclaiming quality sleep is achievable through evidence-based strategies. Routine establishment. Maintain fixed bed/wake times, even on weekends, to anchor your circadian rhythm. Wind down with a ritual like herbal tea or reading. Environmental optimization. Keep the bedroom at 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Dark, use eye masks, and quiet, earplugs or fans. Invest in a supportive mattress. Lifestyle adjustments. Limit caffeine post-noon. Avoid alcohol, which fragments sleep, and heavy meals near bedtime. Exercise daily. 30 minutes of walking boosts deep sleep, but not within 3 hours of bed. Screen and light management. Avoid blue light from devices 1 to 2 hours pre-bed. Use apps like f.lux. Get morning sunlight to regulate melatonin. Advanced interventions. Track sleep with a journal or wearable. If issues persist, screen for OSA via polysomnography. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, outperforms pills, reducing awakenings by 50 to 60%. Discuss medications with a doctor. Avoid long-term sedatives due to dependency risks. Nutritionally, favor sleep-promoting foods, tart cherries, natural melatonin, bananas, magnesium for relaxation, or almonds, tryptophan for serotonin. Supplements like low-dose melatonin, 0.5 to 3 mg, can help under guidance. Sleep isn't optional. It's the foundation of vitality, mending your body and mind nightly. After 70, honoring it means honoring yourself, ensuring your tomorrows are as vibrant as your yesterdays. Protect this gift. You've earned nights of profound peace. Sign number 4, your appetite and digestion shift. One day, you sit down to a meal, and something feels off. The plate in front of you is filled with food that looks perfectly fine. Maybe it's a favorite dish you've enjoyed for years, but the spark of anticipation is gone. You take a bite, and it's just bland. The comfort and joy that food once brought feel distant, almost like a memory. You might skip breakfast entirely, nibble half-heartedly through lunch, or push your dinner plate aside after a few bites, thinking, "I'm just not hungry." It's tempting to shrug this off as a natural part of aging, a minor quirk of getting older. But changes in appetite and digestion after age 70 are often a signal of something deeper, something that deserves your attention. Biologically, your body is undergoing a series of subtle but significant shifts that alter how you experience hunger and process food. As you age, the number of taste buds on your tongue naturally declines. By some estimates, you may lose up to half of the 10,000 taste buds you had in your youth. This reduction dulls your ability to savor flavors, making even your favorite meals less enticing. At the same time, your sense of smell, which plays a critical role in how you perceive taste, also diminishes. That rich aroma of fresh-baked bread or a simmering pot of soup may no longer register as vividly, further reducing the appeal of eating. Beyond sensory changes, your digestive system itself is slowing down. The stomach produces less gastric acid, which is essential for breaking down food and absorbing nutrients like vitamin B12, iron, and calcium. This can make digestion feel sluggish, leading to bloating, discomfort, or even nausea after meals. The muscles in your digestive tract lose tone over time, a process called gastrointestinal motility decline, which can result in constipation, irregular bowel movements, or a persistent feeling of fullness. Even when you've eaten very little, your brain's hunger and satiety signals also shift. The nerves that tell you, "I'm full," become more sensitive. So, you may feel satisfied after just a few bites, even if your body hasn't received the nutrients it needs. Over time, this combination of factors can lead to unintentional weight loss, muscle breakdown, sarcopenia, and a noticeable dip in energy levels. These changes are more than a minor inconvenience. They're a quiet warning that your body is struggling to maintain its reserves. After 70, your body operates with smaller margins. You have less muscle mass, lower bone density, and a less robust immune system than you did in your younger years. Consistent, nutrient-rich meals are critical not just for physical health, but for mental clarity, emotional stability, and overall vitality. Without adequate nutrition, you risk a cascade of effects: fatigue, weakened immunity, poor wound healing, and even an increased risk of cognitive decline or mood disorders like depression. A loss of appetite isn't just about eating less. It's about the body slowly losing the fuel it needs to thrive. But here's the good news: you're not powerless. Small, intentional changes can reignite your appetite and restore balance to your digestion. Start by eating smaller, more frequent meals. Aim for 5 or 6 mini meals every 3 to 4 hours rather than 3 large ones. This approach is easier on your digestive system and helps maintain steady energy levels. Prioritize protein-rich foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, beans, lentils, tofu, or lean meats such as chicken or fish, as protein supports muscle maintenance and repair, which is crucial as you age. To combat the loss of taste, experiment with bold herbs and spices. Think rosemary, thyme, garlic, or ginger, and incorporate healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts to enhance flavor and make meals more appealing. Environment matters, too. Eating in natural light, such as sitting by a window or outdoors when the weather permits, can help regulate your circadian rhythms and stimulate appetite. Sunlight exposure also boosts serotonin levels, which can improve mood and make eating feel more enjoyable. If possible, avoid eating alone. Social connection is a powerful appetite stimulant. Sharing meals with family, friends, or even a neighbor can make food more enticing and turn mealtimes into moments of joy rather than obligation. Studies show that older adults who eat with others consume more calories and nutrients than those who eat alone. And the conversation can lift your spirits in ways that ripple through your overall well-being. Take a moment to reflect: are you eating enough to fuel your body, not just to feel full? Are your meals nourishing you physically and emotionally, or have they become an afterthought in the busyness of life? If you're noticing these changes in your appetite or digestion, don't ignore them. Talk to a doctor or nutritionist to rule out underlying conditions like medication side effects, dental issues, or gastrointestinal disorders that could be contributing to the problem. Your body is speaking. Listen to it and respond with care. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Sign number 5, your grip weakens along with what you can hold on to. It starts with small, almost imperceptible moments. You reach for a jar of pickles, one you've opened countless times before, but this time your fingers fumble and the lid refuses to budge. At the grocery store, a bag of produce feels heavier than it should, and you shift it awkwardly from one hand to the other. Then one morning, a favorite coffee mug, maybe one you've held for years, its weight as familiar as your own hand, slips from your grasp and shatters on the kitchen floor. You stare at the pieces, startled, wondering, when did this happen? When did my hands stop doing what they've always done? A weakening grip might seem like a minor annoyance, something to brush off with a laugh or a quick workaround. After all, you can still get through your day, right? But grip strength is far more than just a measure of how well you can hold a mug or twist a bottle cap. It's a window into your overall physical health and a surprisingly accurate predictor of longevity. Research, including studies from the Journal of Gerontology, has shown that grip strength in older adults correlates strongly with overall muscle mass, functional ability, and even life expectancy. A weaker grip often signals a broader decline in strength, mobility, and resilience, changes that can affect how independently you live and how confidently you move through the world. Consider the story of Martin, a 76-year-old retired carpenter. Martin was always a strong, steady presence. Someone who could carry heavy lumber, hammer nails with precision, and fix anything that needed fixing. But one quiet morning, as he poured his usual coffee, the mug slipped from his hand and crashed to the floor. It wasn't heavy, and he wasn't distracted. His fingers simply didn't respond in time. The moment passed quickly, but it left a mark. Later, he confided to a friend, "I used to build houses. Now I can't even hold a cup." For Martin, the loss wasn't just physical. It was a blow to his identity. A reminder that the strength he'd always relied on was fading. Why does this happen? As we age, a condition called sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass and strength, sets in. By your 70s, you may lose 1 to 2% of muscle mass per year if you're not actively working to maintain it. The nerves that control fine motor movements in your hands and fingers become less responsive, a process called neuromuscular decline. Blood circulation to the extremities can also decrease, reducing the oxygen and nutrients that muscles need to function effectively. Tendons and ligaments stiffen, and joint issues like arthritis can further limit hand mobility and strength. Together, these changes make tasks that once felt effortless, opening jars, carrying groceries, or even buttoning a shirt, suddenly challenging. But don't let this discourage you. With consistent, gentle effort, you can rebuild strength and reclaim confidence in your hands. Start with simple exercises. Squeeze a tennis ball or stress ball for 10 to 15 repetitions, 2 or 3 times a day, to strengthen your forearm and hand muscles. Invest in a hand gripper, an inexpensive tool available at most sporting goods stores, and use it to gradually build strength. Light resistance training, such as lifting a small dumbbell, a soup can, or even a water bottle, can activate the muscles in your arms and hands. Finger stretches are equally important. Spread your fingers wide, hold for 5 seconds, then release, repeating 10 times to improve flexibility and circulation. Beyond exercises, consider your overall lifestyle. Are you staying active enough to support muscle health? Walking, tai chi, or gentle yoga can improve circulation and maintain muscle tone throughout your body, which supports hand strength indirectly. Nutrition plays a role, too. Ensure you're getting enough protein. Aim for 0.8 to 1.2 g per kilogram of body weight daily, and vitamin D, which supports muscle and bone health. If you're noticing persistent weakness or pain, consult a doctor or physical therapist to rule out conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome, arthritis, or nerve issues that could be contributing. Your hands are more than tools. They're storytellers. They've built, carried, cooked, comforted, and created. A weakening grip doesn't just affect what you can hold. It can shake your sense of independence and connection to the life you've built. But it's not too late to strengthen your hands and, by extension, your resilience. Every small effort, every squeeze of a ball, every intentional stretch, writes a new chapter in what your hands can do. Keep them strong, because they still have meals to prepare, hands to hold, and a life to shape in the years ahead. Sign number 6, you start feeling the world pull away. The retreat of the world doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It's not a single moment you can pinpoint. No grand event that marks the shift. Instead, it's a gradual erosion, a quiet unraveling of the threads that once tethered you to the vibrant hum of life. At first, it's subtle. The phone rings less often, its silence stretching from days to weeks. Invitations to gatherings, dinners, birthdays, casual coffee meetups, dwindle, then vanish entirely. Entire months may pass without a knock at the door, without the familiar sound of a friend's voice calling your name. You might rationalize it, telling yourself it's normal. Everyone's busy, you think. People have their own lives, children to raise, careers to chase, new homes in far-off places. Schedules shift, priorities change, and the world moves on. But deep in your bones, you feel the truth. The connections that once defined your days are fraying, and the loneliness that creeps in is more than emotional. It's a physical ache, a tangible weight. This slow drift, often unnoticed until it's undeniable, is one of the most profound and least discussed challenges of aging past 70. Loneliness in later life isn't just a fleeting sadness. It's a state of being that seeps into the body and mind, reshaping both in ways that science is only beginning to fully understand. Research paints a stark picture. Social isolation in older adults is linked to a cascade of health risks, from a 26 to 29% increased risk of heart disease to a higher likelihood of depression, cognitive decline, and even premature mortality. The body experiences loneliness as a chronic stressor, triggering the same biological responses as physical pain or starvation. Cortisol levels spike, inflammation rises, and the immune system weakens, leaving you more vulnerable to illness. In essence, the body doesn't just feel alone. It suffers in its isolation, as if the absence of connection is a wound it cannot heal. What makes this shift so insidious is its subtlety. There's no single moment of betrayal, no dramatic falling out to blame. Instead, it's a series of quiet losses. Friends pass away, their absence leaving gaps that no one seems to fill. Family members, once the center of your world, grow into their own lives. Children move across the country, grandchildren juggle school and screens, and siblings face their own battles with age. Your own mobility may falter, making it harder to drive to the community center, walk to the park, or climb the steps to a friend's porch. The small routine connections that once wove your days together, the banter with a barista at the coffee shop, the laughter during a group hike, the warmth of a church potluck, begin to fade. One day, you realize it's been weeks, maybe months, since you felt truly seen, since someone looked into your eyes and recognized the person you've always been. This isolation can persist even when you're surrounded by people. You might live in a bustling senior community, have attentive nurses checking in, or share a home with family, yet still feel invisible. Loneliness doesn't always wear the face of sadness. Sometimes, it's the weight of silence, the sound of your own thoughts echoing in an empty room with no one to share them with. It's the realization that the stories you carry, the triumphs, the regrets, the quiet joys, are going untold, unheard. This silence is where the real danger lies, because it can erode your sense of self, making you feel like a ghost in your own life. But this doesn't have to be the end of your story. Connection in later life requires effort, more than it once did, but it's far from impossible. The key is to start small, to rebuild those threads one at a time. Pick up the phone and call someone you've lost touch with, even if it's been years. The sound of a familiar voice can be a lifeline. Write a letter or send a card, not just to reconnect, but to remind yourself that your words still matter. Seek out groups in your community, a senior fitness class, a book club, a volunteer program at a local school or animal shelter. These small acts of engagement can have profound effects. Even fleeting moments of connection, a smile exchanged with a stranger, a brief chat with a cashier, can trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which soothes the nervous system and counters the stress of isolation. Research suggests that just 10 minutes of meaningful social interaction a day can improve mood and cognitive function in older adults. You don't need a crowd to feel connected. You just need someone, a single friend, a kind neighbor, a family member who listens. These relationships can anchor you, reminding you that you are still part of the human tapestry. Because staying socially connected isn't just about warding off loneliness. It's about preserving your humanity, your vitality, your sense of being alive in the fullest sense of the word. It's about refusing to let the world pull away entirely and instead, reaching out one small gesture at a time to pull it back. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Sign number 7, your reflection starts feeling like a stranger. It happens in the quiet, ordinary moments, washing dishes, brushing your teeth, folding a pile of laundry, when you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and pause. For a fleeting second, confusion flickers through your mind. Is that me? It's not vanity or judgment that stops you, but a strange, disorienting disconnect. The face staring back doesn't seem to align with the person you feel yourself to be. This experience, though rarely spoken aloud, is far more common than most realize, especially after 70, when the physical changes of aging accelerate. Skin loosens, thinning into delicate creases. Muscles soften, losing the tautness of youth. Posture shifts, shoulders rounding under the weight of years. The features you've carried for decades, those familiar contours you've seen in countless photographs, begin to blur as if time has taken a charcoal pencil and redrawn you with softer, less certain lines. This disconnection is more than skin deep. It touches the core of your identity, stirring a quiet grief. Why does this happen? Neuroscience offers some insight. Our internal self-image, the mental picture we hold of ourselves, tends to remain anchored in an earlier stage of life, perhaps our 30s or 40s. When we felt most vibrant. The brain clings to this familiar template. But as we age, the visual input from the mirror diverges from that memory. This mismatch creates a cognitive dissonance, a dreamlike sensation where recognition and estrangement coexist. You know it's you, yet it feels like someone else, a stranger who wears your eyes but carries a different story in their lines and shadows. This shift can evoke a complex mix of emotions, curiosity, sadness, even a faint sense of betrayal. Your body has been your companion through countless seasons, love, loss, triumphs, and trials. Yet now it feels as though it's rewriting itself without your permission. The eyes in the mirror hold a lifetime of wisdom, etched with the laughter and tears of decades. The lines tell stories of resilience, of moments when you stood tall against life's storms. The slope of your shoulders carries the pride of endurance. Yet there's also a quiet question that lingers: where did I go? It's not about longing for youth, but about reconciling the person you've always known with the one you see now. This moment of disconnection is an invitation, not a sentence. Healing begins not by chasing the past, but by meeting the present with kindness and curiosity. Stand before the mirror and look, really look, at the face before you. Trace the lines with your gaze, not as flaws, but as chapters in a story that's still unfolding. Speak to your reflection as you would a dear friend, with gentleness, with gratitude. You've carried me this far, you might say. Thank you. Create small rituals to honor this evolving self. Light a candle as you brush your hair, letting the soft glow remind you of your own warmth. Place a photo of your younger self near the mirror, not to compare or mourn, but to bridge the gap between then and now, to remind yourself that both versions of you are worthy of love. You might also explore new ways to reconnect with your body. Try gentle movement. Yoga, Tai Chi, or a slow walk in the park, to feel its strength and resilience. Dress in colors that make you feel alive, or wear a piece of jewelry that carries a memory. These small acts can ground you in the present, helping you see your reflection not as a stranger, but as the current chapter of a remarkable journey. The truth is, the face in the mirror isn't foreign. It's the face of someone who has endured, grown, softened, and survived. It's a face that deserves not just acceptance, but reverence. This process of reconnection extends beyond the mirror. Share your story with others, a friend, a grandchild, or a journal. Let your voice remind you that you are still here, still vibrant, still you. Because aging isn't about fading. It's about becoming deeper, quieter, truer. It's about bowing to the wisdom carved into every line, every curve, every moment of your life. And that is not something to fear. It is something to celebrate. That's a wrap on the 7 undeniable things that happen once you turn 70. We've explored the signs of aging that shape this incredible chapter of life. And now we want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that's really stuck with you? Better yet, what's one insight you're going to put into practice to embrace aging with grace and confidence? Drop it in the comments below. We can't wait to read your thoughts. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more heartfelt content on thriving at any age. See you in the next one.